Hey folks, it's Bilbo the Vulture. It's time for more Extreme Warfare Revenge by Adam Ryland, and I don't have to tell you this is a very exciting time, because we're about to go regional. Our work is about to pay off in a big, big way. Let's talk to our personal assistant, Sophie. We have 18 workers on the roster. Let's move to the next day. Lee, Todd Rocket, Mike Martin, and View Askew. Alright. At this point, I am basically going to just be checking every day. Sorry, folks, that's just how it is. We're back to the old-fashioned type of video where I would check the email every day. Isn't it a refreshing treat? Because we're up to 99 at this point. It's going to be a big deal, folks, when we attain regional status. A lot of TV shows out there right now, aren't there? Well, I meant specifically Wrestling League ones. Obviously, there's a lot of TV shows out there, yeah? They're like fiends. We have risen to regional level. Raw has been renewed. We rose to regional level. Let's delete all the email. We are now a regional fed at 10% public image. Let's go into a meeting. So all of a sudden, we have 18 workers on the roster. Felony's contract is coming to an end. We can get staff of 60 skill or below. We don't have enough referees. Present, the highest TV rating we could get would be around 0.32. I don't suppose at this point we could send out a promo tape. We could. Let's view the networks. The regional network, we 0.32, so like we might be able to do well in a graveyard shift show, but we wouldn't be able to be in a late evening or prime time or early evening. What about if we try to check with the local network? The local network we could do late evening. We probably would still, prime time still might be a little ways away from us, but what if we sent out a promo tape to the local network? Hey, the tape got sent. Also, we need to go into other staff. We need to change our search criteria. We need to look for referees. And we need to look for a referee with a max talent of 60. Wow, look at all these referees. No, hang on. Let's change the search criteria again. How about we raise this talent bar up? You're a very talented referee. Oh, we get Brian Hebner? He's a famous referee. Bruce Gray is a 60 talent referee and wants 10 grand. And only 10 grand. Well, shoot, there's so many of these referees that are like talent level that high. Let's change this down to how many are willing to work for less than 15 grand. Geez, still a lot. Like Rock Austin. Brock Austin wants 3 years at 10 grand. Bruce Gray, you want 2 years at 10 grand. I'm going to offer you a contract because that's a sweet deal. Also, let me look at my roster right now. Jamie Dundee. Miss Vanessa. How are you doing, Miss Vanessa? Right now you have an open contract for $9,000 a month. What if I offered you a contract with us, the big hotshot regional Fed? 5-year contract at 9 grand. I don't want to sign such a long contract with a promotion this size. What about if I offered you 12 grand? I want a substantial pay increase if I'm to sign for this amount of time. Like 15 grand? What about 3 years? What about 10 grand? 11. Alright, so we now have Ms. Vanessa written in for 3 years at 11 grand. She can't be hired away. She's a very talented manager. And we can just use her to build people up. And she's already doing a good job. She's already very over. How about you? You're working for 5 grand right now. What if I offered you a 5-year contract for 5 grand? $12 grand, 5 years? Fine. If I offered you a written 3-year contract for 5 grand? 6 grand? Haha! I can now lock these guys in, and they can't be taken away from me. Corey Castle, you're doing good things for us. I like your style. Also, Katsushi Takamura. No thanks, I feel I'm ready to try and join one of the big promotions. What about just a year contract? No thanks, he thinks he's gonna move on. He does. Jarrell Clark, you've always been faithful to us. Can we get you under written contract? For 5 years? What about for 3 years? What about for 2 years? Jarrell Clark will sign for 3 years. We give him 11 grand a month. Now, obviously, this is going to lose us. This will probably lose us a little money here and there. Todd Sexton is currently in rehab, so I won't worry too much about snaring him up. Deranged, I feel like we had enough dysfunction. I haven't done a lot with him yet, but he's a very talented wrestler. He's not very charismatic, but Lazarus, also a talented high flyer. Would you like a 5-year written contract? Sorry, I'm already working for other bigger promotions. Signing a written contract would be a poor career move. What if I made it for 10 grand? 11 grand? 12 grand? Oh, you pretty much just don't want to sign a written contract. That's fine. You are perfectly entitled to do those things. What if we just signed you up for 3 years? Nope. 10 grand. 11 grand. Now, dysfunctions on the payroll. Alright. So right now we have our main feud is Jarrell Clark versus Corey Castle. We are also going to probably put Deranged in a feud. And we're going to push those feud guys so hard, it's going to be so great. And nobody's going to be able to interrupt those feuds again. How about the Sugar Man here? The Sugar Man's alright. Fortunately, Jamie Dundee is also touring in Japan, so we can't just steal him. Lazarus is also working for Hollywood, so he doesn't want to sign with us. I could sign this Robbie Moxie fellow to a written contract. Could also try and sign Louis Moxie. Could also check out what other workers are out here for... Well, actually, let's go back and check in with Sophie. Let's check in with our finance department. We still have the ideal price for all these things. Suggest a monthly wage cap of around 40 grand per wrestler. I don't know if I go for that. Let's go to search criteria. How about guys with 80 charisma or above that will work for 15. We have Cade Seidel here. Dangerous Dave. Danny Daniels. Dr. Hertz. Enigma. Aaron Brave. Atlas Frederick. Glenn Sutton. Gotti. Jade. Nate Webb. Nate Webb's a very talented guy, isn't he? Sandy Sanchez. And a Sherry Bop. Honestly, Sherry Bop and Jade would have a good feud wrestling. Unfortunately, they're the only female wrestlers out there that have stats to speak of that I've encountered. Let's drop that down. Let's go for... Who in this range is an amazing high flyer? There are some. Billy Dream, Black Dragon. Look at this guy. He's amazing. Flo, Genesis, Jason Carter, Kid Rageous, Lance Silva, Matt Classic, Michael Reigns. Wow, look at that guy. Onyx, he likes to slam. Da 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 da. Seijin Aki, Seth Knight, and of course Sanjay Dutt. Well, Sanjay, you're good, but you're now swimming in a realm with guys that are just as good, if not better. Written contract, 5 years, 15 grand. All right, I'll tell you what. How about this Kate Sadal guy? Written, 5 years. All right, how about 15? 17. You know what? Maybe we should start strictly with the unemployed guys, like this Black Dragon character. An incredible talent. Written, 5-year contract for 10 grand. 11 grand. 3 years, 12 grand. 13 grand. How much is this going to take? All right, guy doesn't want to sign a contract with us. I guess I get that. You know, if I sign him up for a verbal contract and then immediately enter negotiations with him for a written contract, maybe that'd work. Now if I go into the roster, Black Dragon. You're working for me now. What if I offered you a new contract, a written contract for 5 years? Okay, 3 years. And 3 years at 13 grand. They do work a little bit more with you. So we got Robbie Moxley. And Louis Moxley was also out there. And if I remember right, I liked his swag. Yeah, Louis Moxley's a pretty good guy. You want to work as a tweener for us? Now let's go back. Let's try and sign both of these guys. 2 written contracts. I know, this is going to cost me a lot of money this month. And theoretically every month after. But I'll be able to use these guys as much as I want. You know, I get that. How about 3 years? Lee Moxley will sign that contract. Now, Robbie Moxley. Robbie Moxley doesn't want to negotiate. Robbie Moxley's not feeling good. Oh man. He's throwing around all this money, making other people feel bad. Oh, just those guys. Just the guys that have yet to debut. They don't feel the love of this organization yet, and I guess I understand. Anyway, solstice is on the 29th, so now we can skip forward a little bit. I should maybe pay attention, see whether or not any of my guys that I would like to sign on to written contracts are going to come available sometime soon. Oh, I should also establish another feud now that I have more people signed up. I don't have any good faces signed up though, do I? No, sir, I don't. Okay, we're still at 10, so we haven't gained any. ECWA fell to cult level, and they are going to release some people. WWE signed Deranged to a written contract. That's irksome. Although, you know, I had my chance to sign Deranged, and I decided against it because I was having such problems with him. Well, Majito has agreed to yet another open contract. Well, good for him. Mr. Aguila. That must be before he got the doctorate. OH have fallen to cult level. And released J.R. Ryder, Johnny Smith, Josh Matthews, Mike Chioda, Pete Stone, Dudley Kelly Andrews. A bunch of people got released, is what was happening right there. MLW rose to national level. Mark Briscoe is going to work for them. Don Marie, Chance Beckett, Rob Bitterman, Adam Hassan, Jimmy Hart, Rupert Captain, Abdullah Dudley, and Steve Strong. Alright, so we have one feud going. It's a good feud. Let's go to our rosters. Who all do we have under written contract right now? Black Dragon, Dysfunction, Jarrell Clark, Louis Moxie, Ms. Vanessa, and Phil Woods. So I could try and start another feud between some open contractor. Let me look at my full roster. Lazarus won't want to sign a written contract first because he's also working for Hollyweird. Also, he's also a heel. Todd Sexton's in rehab. Striker kind of sucks. Excuse me. I could see doing something with Scotty Mac here. Hey, Scotty Mac, you want to do business? Three-year contract. Scotty Mac is going to work for us for the next 3 years. So, Black Dragon. So I bet Black Dragon and Scotty Mac would have a nice feud, wouldn't they? Let's start a feud between Black Dragon and Scotty Mac. I decree it. There's not a lot of heat around that feud. Oh yeah, they're gonna need managers. You already have one. You already have one. You don't need one. You don't need one. You have one. You have one. You have one. You don't need one. You don't need one. You don't. You are one. You are one. You don't need one. You don't need one. You need one. All right. That's pretty good. Now then, we are going to start this. Gonna start this with a one-on-one match, a single match between Black Dragon and Scotty Mac. There is no title on the line. The winner in this case will be Black Dragon. It's going to be Black Dragon through cheating. And the result will be that Black Dragon will run off. And that is to continue / spark their feud. Now I tell you what. He's going to win clean. And then after that, he's going to cheap shot after the handshake. Scotty Mac's like, hey man, I just got here too, but welcome to Vulture Championship Wrestling. And it's going to be like, BAM! And that's how it's going to be. Also, Jarrell Clark and Corey Castle. This feud has been built up superbly. I'd end up with a gimmick match, then move both workers on to new feuds. Cool, will do. Match. Oh, you're gonna love this, folks. 1 versus 1. Singles. Jarrell Clark versus Corey Castle. There's no title on the line. That's okay. Oh, actually, hang on a second. You're gonna love this. Select a match type. As a regional fed, we now have the ability to put together cage matches. Jarrell Clark versus Corey Castle. No title on the line. The winner is going to be Corey Castle. Corey Castle is going to win clean. The aftermath is going to be Corey Castle celebrates. And that will end this feud. It's been built up superbly. Those guys are going to be well built up by this. And I just locked them down. Alright. And I know, these guys could all be taken away from me by injury, by rehab, by any number of other issues that could happen, and I would still have to pay them. It's a risk I'm willing to take. What is gained without some risk? Alright, so Louis Moxley and Robbie Moxley. I was going to put dysfunction in the card somewhere. Oh yeah, I should check the quick roster here. Who is available right now? Takamura's out. Todd Sexton, of course, is out. So, Robert Thompson and Jason Sugarman. Louis Moxley, Robbie Moxley. Might not be the best match. I'm kind of interested to see how it goes, though. And I'm interested to have a nice tag match. Match 2 versus 2. Tag, that's right. Robbie Moxley and Louis Moxley versus Jason Sugarman and Robert Thompson. There is no title on the line. The win will be Robbie Moxley. The loss will be Robbie Thompson. Oh, we are not losing this match. They are not in our league. Fine, you guys are going to be babies. Babies, I say. I guess Striker's available. He's a nice jobberly sort. So's Dysfunction. But they're a face and a heel respectively. Who's somebody who's not that over, other than the Moxies? And Scotty Mac, because he just had his match for the day. Sebastian Knight and Striker? They might do it. They're an unlikely pairing, to be sure. I just kind of want to get these two debuted. Robbie Moxley and Louis Moxley versus Seb Knight and Striker. There is no title on line. The winner will be Robbie Moxley and the loser will be Striker. The finish will be a clean finish. Select the aftermath. There is none. And the purpose is to put on a good match. Now then. Dysfunction. You are on written contract, so you're obviously going to go out there and cause some major craziness. We're going to have that happen against who? Katsushi Takamura? No. Jamie Dundee, maybe. I bet Dysfunction and Jamie Dundee will put on a good match. Let's give it a go. Match 1 versus 1. Singles. Dysfunction versus Jamie Dundee. All right, no title on the line. This is going to be a win for Dysfunction. Now, fine, it's going to be a win for Jamie Dundee. Jamie Dundee is going to win cleanly. The aftermath will be Dysfunction does a revenge attack. How's that? And they're putting on a good match. I think they will put on a good match. Actually. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to do an interview. One-on-ones, or sorry, single worker with manager. This is going to be Miss Vanessa for Corey Castle. And she is going to be talking about Jarrell Clark. And that is going to be to continue their feud. See, that's good booking. We're going to start the show with an interview segment. A single worker with manager. It is going to be Phil Woods and Jarrell Clark. They are going to be talking about Corey Castle to continue that feud. Not hype the upcoming match, although there is an upcoming match and it is exciting. Now let's have an interview here. Single worker with manager. It's going to be Phil Woods with Black Dragon. It's going to be talking bad about Scotty Mac for purposes of their feud. And here we are going to have an interview segment. It's going to be a tag team interview segment. It is going to be the Moxies. And they are not going to be targeting anyone. They're basically just going to be introducing themselves. And then here we are going to have an interview segment. Single worker with manager. You know the idea now. It's going to be Scotty Mac. They're going to be talking about the old Black Dragon. And that is going to be for their feud. There we go. This is going to be a pretty good show, I think. Phil Woods and Black Dragon both gained overness from this segment. It's a pretty good segment, too. Wow. I mean, 73% for just this interview. I mean, they got less for this Jarrell Clark angle. People know who Jarrell Clark is. Now let's look at the match they put together. Okay. Scotty Mac lost some overness from this match. The crowd didn't really get into it, but it was a good quality match. The overall rating ended up suffering, though, so 46%. The Moxies, the Moxie family are backstage. They hyped themselves up, getting an overall rating of 58. This probably did not turn out to be the best match. 63%. It's an okay match. 47% overall rating. Crowd reaction was 32. Ms. Vanessa gained overness from talking with Scotty Mac. Scotty Mac apparently did not gain overness from it, but whatevs. Dysfunction versus Jamie Dundee was an 80% match with 44% crowd reaction, so an overall rating of 62. Miss Vanessa again gaining overness. This time Corey Castle not gaining overness. They continued that feud. And now, folks, our first ever cage match. The main event. Jarrell Clark throws Castle into the cage. Castle takes a Hurricane Rana. Jarrell only gets knees on a splash. Spinning back kick from Corey Castle. Castle uses a basement drop kick to the knee. Corey Castle drives Jarrell into the cage side. Spin kick by Corey Castle to the face. Corey Castle climbs the cage but gets pulled down by Jarrell. Jarrell Clark hits a right hand out of nowhere. Second rope splash by Jarrell. Castle walks into a face crusher variation. Leg sweep out of nowhere. Jarrell Clark launches Castle into the cage wall. Jarrell only gets knees on a splash. We can get some of these things repeated a little bit. Jarrell takes a flying neckbuster from Corey Castle. Springboard blockbuster. Jarrell Clark can barely stand. Super kick. Jarrell climbs the cage. Gets pulled off by Corey Castle, who then climbs up and over. We have a winner. Corey Castle remains in the ring, even though he climbed up and over, celebrating his victory. It was an 80% match, 56% crowd reaction, so still not huge. For a 68 overall rating. Jarrell Clark and Corey Castle both gained overness from the feud ending. 61% show. Not bad. Not great, not bad. We've done worse. Robbie Moxley is losing heat because we're pushing him too much. Sebastian Knight is losing heat because we're pushing him too much. Dysfunction is losing heat because we're pushing him too much. Jarrell Clark should be higher up the card. That last feud rocked, helped my career. Trent Baker would like to have some matches with Sebastian Knight. Okay. So here's one that's done. And how did that go? Sebastian Knight versus Trent Baker. %. And at the end of June here, we will lose a ton of money. All right, got a 602 TV rating for Heat. Road to the title show. WAW, thanks for the promo tape. We're not currently looking for a new program. Feel free to try again in a few months' time. Todd Sexton's back from rehab. Boss Man retired. Mike Sanders has left. Jamie Dundee wants more money. So does Lazarus. So does Jason Sugarman. Robbie Moxley. Staff member Felony has 1 month left in his contract. Reedy Charles left the staff WC. Keebler Cookies. We made 120 grand off of merchandise this month. Superb work. A public image is improving every month. We're still losing money. We're Grappling Company have issued another bankruptcy warning. So I feel like there was something here I wanted to make a note of. I mean, Felony is almost done. Todd Sexton, that's right. Todd Sexton's back from rehab. And who do we have touring with Noah? I.e., who might no longer be touring with Noah? Nope. Jamie Dundee is touring with Noah. Takamura also working with other people. All right. Willie Moxley. Robbie Moxley, do you feel any better now? Do you feel like negotiating yourself a written contract for 3 years, for 5 years? Robbie Moxley. Now we have the Moxley brothers. You know what we're going to do? We're going to end up creating a tag title, that's for sure. Trent Baker and Sebastian Knight, really? Well, I could try them in matches. I mean, why not, right? Okay, let's go back here. Actually, let's look at how the books ended up last month. We lost 87 grand, so we actually didn't lose that much more than we did 2 months ago. I mean, that's still not good. We made how much off of merchandising? Merchandise was 100 grand. We made 120. So let's increase to 120. Because at the very least, unless we start doing worse business, we will make that money back at least. That 20 grand investment. Ah, and I tell you what else we should do. We should look at events. Ask Sophie. We should stick to doing either medium or large sized events each month. Well, you know what that means to me? We should be doing large events every month. I may regret this. All right. Let's go back again. Let's go back, talk to Sophie some more. Highest TV rating we could get would be a 0.36. All right, staff. We got some writing work to do. Staff is coping with the workload. So let's check the television then. Let's view the world of networks. Where could we get a 0.32 and that be acceptable? America 1 in the graveyard shift. We could get a late night or graveyard show on Comcast Sportsnet. Get your game on. That might actually be a good one to try. Or History Channel, but no. Wait, what is Comcast risk level? Wow, Comcast, you can pretty much do anything. For some reason they were suggesting that Comcast would be okay with nudity, which I feel like would not be okay. Channel, the local network. Nickelodeon? Wrestling on Nickelodeon, why not, you know? Hmm. What are the existing TV shows out there? There's one on Spike TV, there's another on Spike TV, USA, Playboy Spike, USA, UPN, and America 1. So somebody did think, let's go to America 1. I'm going to send out a promo tape to Comcast Sportsnet. Well, this might not be Comcast Sportsnet, this is just the Comcast network. I'm going to send a promo tape to the Comcast network. And that'll be fun. I'm going to sit and I'm going to think on things. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to Sponsor Town. Who's interested in sponsoring us now? A whole new world. So, these are the people that are interested in doing business with us. Ed's Cacti, Hannibal's Lectures, Hesketh Records, okay, so let's view our existing sponsors. How much time left on some of these? There's some time left on some of these, although some less so. Mighty Mints, there's 2 months left. If we ended this contract, it would cost $292,000 in legal payments. But we could make 290,000. So we would miss 2 grand. I don't think Hannibal's Lectures was anybody's sponsor, though. You know what? I'm going to stick with things the way they are. But regional Fed time, I can actually look at wrestlers who are not 9,000 or less. I mean, really, I could hire anybody I wanted to if I was willing to pay them money. Let's set our wage cap at 20 grand. And only hire somebody who had a speed skill of 85. Look, there are guys. There's Michael Raines. There's Superstar Steve. He's a superstar. That is what he is. He's known to be easy to work with. He wants exactly 20 grand. Well, alright. All these guys work for NEPW. If NEPW ever goes under, we'll know who to talk to, right? What if somebody's got a technical skill of 80? Austin Lee. That guy's real good. Greg Powlunk. Havoc. Havoc's not bad. Just Insane. He's a just insane technical wrestler and pure talent. He's a guy who would have worked with Catastrophe. Wait, would have? Yeah, no. Catastrophe ended up getting away. That's right, and I ended up keeping Dysfunction, even though Dysfunction was the guy who was not working super well with us. Whatever. We'll figure it all out next time, folks. Until then, this is Bobo the Vulture. This has been Let's Play Extreme Warfare Revenge. I want to thank you very much for watching, and I'll see all of you next time. Bye for now.